Your nation is depending on you.
Watch Every Vote Counts.
A celebration of democracy.
Your voice deserves to be heard.
Yes, yes, yes. A celebration of democracy. Every vote counts, ladies and gentlemen. We've been saying this. How much do we say this, Heather B?
I would say at least 10 times a week.
Every vote counts. We just talked about the voter suppression we're seeing that's taking place around the country right now in Houston, where they got a limited amount of ballot boxes that you can drop in your early ballots in. You're seeing all types of things. That's why this program with our good friend is so important. A celebration of democracy. This is going to be a special airing on CBS Thursday, October 29th, hosted by Alicia Keys, America Ferrara, and the lovely, magnificent, the activist, the Emmy Award-winning, the friend of the show, the mother, the scholar, the one and only, Kerry Washington is here.
Good morning.
Yes!
She's here.
The best brains in the game.
Yes.
Beauty and the brain, bruh.
Beauty in the brains.
You're so kind. I want to call in every morning.
Well, you know, Kerry, I see you out there. I see you doing your work. I follow you on IG. I watch your interviews. We might be out of a job after the COVID, the way you've been interviewing. I was like, Kerry on one. I see what she's doing. But
I could be your West Coast hub. We could talk about it.
Okay, let's talk about it. Because y'all don't remember the first time Kerry came up here and we were talking about we need to produce some type of podcast, a talk show for. I was going to teach you how to do radio. But now I'm trying to carry your bags. But let's talk, okay? It's got some dope bags. This is such a necessary event. Kerry Washington, I'm still having conversations with friends about, I got friends in their 40s who still think their vote doesn't count. Oh, man. I'm having these conversations with folks in my community right now that don't understand the value of the vote and the sacrifice that's been made for it. It's people's prerogative. You're going to do what you want to do. But my thing is,
to me, what it means is that it's worked, right? Like, there have been hundreds of years and billions of dollars spent to make black people feel like we have no power, right? Like, they wanted us to not be able to read. They wanted us to not be able to have claim to our own children, to not have freedom, to count us as 3/5 a person. And it has worked on some people. We have chosen to feel powerless at a moment where, look, they are lying, cheating, and stealing to try to win this election. They are doing everything they can to try to win this election, and that's because of our power. They wouldn't try to be silencing us if we didn't have extraordinary power. So that's what I just keep trying to remind people, like those moments where you see them trying to take away our power, that is proof of how much power we have.
What do you say, and this is very important, because the lying is just,
crazy.
It's crazy. The lying is, I can't even stomach the lying. I see these grown men lying to a whole nation, lying to a whole world, lying to themselves.
That's right.
And lying to their family, and these are our representatives. So what would you say to those who have a distrust in our political system?
Yeah, listen, I understand that. I really, really do, because there's so much lying. I said to my husband the other day, I just wish that some of these elected officials could have been loved as children. Like, I wish they could have gotten the love that they needed to be honest individuals. But I guess, I would say at times when you feel like you cannot trust the system, we have to trust each other to hold the system accountable, right? Like we the people, we have to hold the system accountable. The reality is that anybody who works in government, whether it's a judge, even police officers, judges, your president, your senator, when we pay our taxes, we pay their salaries. So we're the boss. So if we don't show up and vote, we're just like asleep at the job, letting people take our money without showing up on time and doing what they're supposed to do. We are the bosses, but how we let them know how to represent us is to show up at the voting booth. It's also protesting in the street and writing letters to your congresspeople and engaging in lots of other ways, but the bare minimum is to vote. If you don't vote, you're out here just giving away your money to people and they're not working for you. At least if you vote, you have a say. So really, for me, voting is like you got to boss up. You got to boss up and know that you already have a say in who's running your neighborhood, your community, your city, your state. But if you don't vote, you're asleep at the job.
Kerry Washington, man. Every vote counts, a celebration of democracy. There's going to be a broadcast special Thursday night, October 29th. Tomorrow night.
Yep. And we just want everybody to come. We're going to have, like, it's crazy, fun performances, amazing celebrity appearances, but also, like, real Americans from all over the country talking about what voting means to them, people who are voting for the first time. Because, listen, a lot of people in this election are voting for the first time, and people are voting in record numbers. But you can't believe the polls. You got to know that your vote really matters. In the last election, the election came down sometimes to 2 people per precinct. So like 2 people in a neighborhood. That's what shifted the election in some places. So never think that your vote doesn't matter. 2 votes can shift an entire election. So if you have a feeling about this, if you have a thought about what you want your world to look like, which I hope you do because it's your world if you live it, then you got to show up.
Kerry Washington, guys, y'all want to jump in?
Yeah, to the max. Go ahead, HB.
Hey, Kerry, what's up? It's Heather. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, girl. Thank you. Yesterday, we had the opportunity to talk to Lecrae, and he said something interesting about, restoring and restoration and some of the things he was dealing with on social media in terms of expressing his political views and expressing certain things and going back and forth with folks on social media. You have been so present throughout, your time in the public eye about how important it is to vote and who you are voting for. How do you deal with backlash to social media? Do you even respond at all to people, trolls on your timeline?
Yeah, I tend to not respond to trolls. I do respond to people who have real questions, or if people come at me with a challenge where I feel like they've misunderstood or misrepresented something that I've said. Sometimes I try to clarify, but I don't really try to, if I feel like somebody's on social media to make me feel bad about myself, I don't engage because I'm not there for that. That's not on my menu for the day. So, you also know, like, what I said before, hurt people. So if you're coming on here just to spread your hurt, like I gotta take my social media vitamin C. I gotta build up my immunity to that because I'm not gonna silence myself. But you can say what you're gonna say, and I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. And there's room for that. That's part of what it means to be an American. That First Amendment right is you get to say what you believe, I get to say what I believe, and we need to be able to coexist.
Word.
There you go, Kerry Washington. I'm going to let Tracy ask the last question because I know you're doing your rounds. Tracy, go ahead.
Kerry, thank you, my girl, for joining us, man. Such a powerful voice, and it hasn't just began in 2020. You've been keeping this voice loud, strong, and informed for years. My question for you is, what came first, this passion for civic engagement or the passion for acting, and how does one influence the other?
You know what's so funny? I was thinking about it the other day. When I first read the script, the pilot episode, the first episode of Scandal, I was like, oh, I love this woman, Olivia Pope. She's so aspirational, and she's such a badass. Like, I really love her. And she's flawed. She happens to be sleeping with a married man. Like, that's a problem. But it didn't really, it didn't keep me from wanting to play her, right? And then, a couple seasons later, I read the script where she stole the election. Like, she broke the law and stole the election. And I was in, a puddle of tears. And I was like, it's so interesting that this woman can be like a homewrecker, ruining marriages, and I didn't cry about it. But stealing the election is what really broke my heart. So I think my passion for civic engagement started really early because my parents were active, and I've been really an activist since I was a kid, since I was a teenager. so I think, I don't know, I think they've come hand in hand because honestly, they're the same thing in a way. Like when I act as a black woman, what inspires me is the idea that like every single person matters, and often black women are not at the center of our stories, or we're not given three-dimensionality in our narratives. You know, you see a lot of stereotypes about black women, and so as an actress, I'm always looking to like affirm that black women and our stories matter, or that any marginalized person and their stories matter. You know, that's really what I think about as a producer. And so in voting, it's the same thing, right? It's like what's important to me is that every single citizen matters, and that not every character, but actually every person knows that they matter, because each of us is at the center of our own story. Your life is your narrative. You are the princess of your fairy tale. You are the king of your castle. But king, if you don't show up and contribute to make your community a better place, then you are not living up to your own dream, your own story. So that, you know, I think for me, they come from a really similar place, which is why the special was so important to me. Like the idea that every vote counts, and also, by the way, what we talk about in the special is that we must count every vote, right? That those things go hand in hand. I really just wanted to create a night with my sisters, Alicia Keys and America Ferrara. Alicia's performing a song. It's incredible. It's a new joint nobody's heard. It's just like, it's a really important night for us to remind people that we love you. Your vote matters. We're out here. Even if you don't trust the system, we got to trust each other. We got to show up for each other.
There it is, Kerry Washington, and this is taking place tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Make sure you're watching. It's going to be on every platform, from Apple Music, Apple TV, Amazon Music, CBS All Access. Kerry, before you go, I got another tremendous actor on the line with us. A lot of folks know him as Ghost, but he's done so much tremendous work, and he's our next guest. But I thought it'd be great so if you guys could say hi. Amari Hardwick is on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Amari!
Amari!
What's up, my brother?
Hi, Amari. How you doing?
Hey. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
You sound far away.
Talking
the phone, Amari. Kerry Washington on, Amari. Say hi to Kerry.
Oh, Kerry. Kerry,
hi.
You know, Kerry, I got to tell you something, man. The last time we saw each other, I never stopped thinking about that fact that you were so surprised that I had never gotten an opportunity to produce or direct any of the episodes, mostly to direct on Power. I never forget, Sway. Kerry was like, how the hell could you not be given an opportunity to direct? And it's done so much for me, Kerry, just the question and your frustration at it. Because you know how much you and I respect each other. But I've just always sort of used it as maybe as a signpost to just kind of take care of myself going forward. And I never forget you doing that, and just the love and honor and respect.
Voice. Step into your power, step into your voice. I love that. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, I see. When this union happened on the screen, you guys remember where it started, right here on Sway in the Morning. Okay, all right, Kerry.
Bye, everybody.
All right, take care, Kerry Washington, ladies and gentlemen. Man, wow.